Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do our full review of the Carpuride W502 Pro. I'll run through the main features of what the device offers the likes of me and you when we're out on the road. So it features wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so that covers all your phone devices in terms of connectivity. It's got a 5-inch touchscreen that should work with your motorcycle gloves on, so I'll give that a little bit of a try later. And I should point out the waterproof level is IP67, which is pretty much standard across the industry now, but that covers you against high and low temperatures, dust, strong winds. It's got Bluetooth built in, so you can pair it up with your helmet, and you can set it up to actually connect to two separate helmets so you can both listen to the same music, which is a pretty neat feature. It does come with two power connection options, either one direct to your battery, which may give off some parasitic draw. I will have to delve into that, but you can also connect it straight to your USB as long as you've got a minimum of 5 volts. And at the time of recording this video, the price is currently £193 on the Carpuride website, and I can offer 30% discount on that price. So I'll put the link in the description below, and the code for the 30% discount is MWG. And there's the device itself, which comes with a pre-installed sun visor. And looking at the back, there's 2 screws, so you could take that off if you wanted to. You've just got one single wire coming off the back, which will connect up to the power source. You've got a handlebar mounting system. You've got the power cable for connecting direct to the battery. USB power cable, another part of the mounting kit, spare fuse, a series of bolts and a little Allen key. You've got the instruction manual and a little wrench. So it basically comes with everything that you need to fit it to your bike, which is pretty handy. So currently I'm just using a generic phone mount, which allows us to mount the phone centrally on the bike. When I'm sat on it, I can see the maps fairly clearly. The only downside to this is I'm having to leave my phone here at risk of flying off or potentially being damaged by vibrations. So in an ideal world, what I want to do is take this off here, have it completely out of the way and in my pocket. But at the same time, what I am wanting is something that looks sleek and fits in nicely with the dash, because it's not an adventure bike. It hasn't got big fairings, it's got no or barely any front cowls, so it needs to be something that's reasonably small, about the same size as a phone, which is basically the reason why I went for the 502 model, because it has the smaller 5-inch screen. Now when it comes to fitting the device to your bike, straight out the box you get this attachment here, which you loosen these 2 nuts and adjust that to fit the diameter of your handlebar. So I'll quickly mock this up on the bike and show you what that would look like if you take that approach. Now on most bikes, or rather non-sport bikes, the bar that you see here runs all the way through here, through the centre, unobstructed. But on bikes such as this, where you've got this additional brace in the centre, you can't actually mount the device, at least not straight out of the box, centrally. So what you can do, which I'll demonstrate, is you could attach it off to the side. So let's mount the device and see what it looks like if we did mount it here. So all I'm doing here is attaching 2 rubber spacers, a washer and a nut, which will tighten up the clamp underneath. Now I'm not going to leave it here, so I'm just going to tighten them up enough so it holds in place. So there you can see how it's connected. Incredibly straightforward. Now I think you'll probably agree that that looks massively out of place on my bike. So what I'm going to do now is take it back off the bike, and I'm going to show you a little attachment that I've bought that fits on the back that allows us to connect it direct to the existing phone mount that I've got. And what I've bought, which is from Evotech, I'll put the link in the descriptions below, but all it is a small machined plate that essentially replaces the ball joint that's on the back of there. Pull it off carefully so you don't shoot the screws across the room, and then attach the plate in its place, and then you can use the existing screws. And now I'll run back over to the bike and I'll show you how easy it is to attach it and how it looks when it's mounted in the ideal position. And that's it. So now you can mount it perfectly central, and you can attach it and reattach it in a matter of seconds. But I think that looks 100 times better in that central position. Before we finally mount the device onto the bike, I figured it made sense to get it back on the bench and we can run through the menu systems from here and have a closer look at how it works and how it connects to your phone. I believe that is a customizable screen. I'll look into that in slow time later. First observation is it is very vibrant and very clear. See how responsive it is. That is really good. So now let's see how you connect it up to your phone. In my case I've got Android, so I'll go for Android Auto. So let's see what happens. So all you've got to do is go on the Bluetooth section on your phone, do a Bluetooth search and look for the device, which in this case it's Carpuride 268. And it comes up on my phone that it's pairing, confirm the passkey, and there we have it. Now that was a complete piece of cake. So let's have a look at the applications that's built in. So you've got all your standard Android Auto apps. That is silky smooth. Hopefully the camera is picking that up at just how smooth that is. Now let's try the glove test and see if I can scroll through the screen. And you can. So let's go back to the main menu and have a look at some of the functionality on here. So you've got your compass, you've got your barometer for your altitude. It looks like you've got a voltage reading up here. You've got your sound, your media and your voice. That's a Bluetooth connection symbol. And in terms of audio, I'll be connecting this up to the Sena headset that I've got in my helmet. But you can just connect it up to any other Bluetooth device. So again, you can connect it up to two devices simultaneously, which is a neat little feature. But that's enough talking about boxes and screens. Let's now get it finally mounted onto the bike. So first things first, we're going to have to take the rear cowl off, which will give us access to the bolt that holds the seat in place. And we've just got to loosen one bolt. We'll safely put that to one side. And we've just got to lift the seat off. And all that does is it'll give us more access for running the cable, the USB cable that is, under the seat, underneath the cowl, and into the USB port that's hidden away at the back here. Now we'll mount the device to make sure that the USB cable reaches where it should. And then we're just going to run the cable down the length of the bike, and as you can see, you've got plenty excess cable. So if you're a Street Triple owner, fantastic, you can follow where I've rerouted the wire. But just to show how tidy a setup it is, you've got the device, and here is the USB power cable. So what I've done, I've rerouted it through that little gap in there. It runs along the side of the bike, just inside this little gap. That goes up through here, and it comes out inside of here, which is just that cable there. So then it runs through underneath the seat, underneath this plastic area here, and that's the cable popping out, running round and going directly into the USB port, which is just there. So that's the bike put back together, and that's how it's looking, and I am over the moon with that. So let's turn the ignition on and make sure everything works as it should. And when you turn the ignition off, power goes off, no parasitic draw. In conclusion, very happy with the Carpuride W502 Pro. I think it does show that you can have a GPS device on a naked bike or a sports bike, and it still looks like part of the, or it still fits with the aesthetics of the bike. It doesn't stand out too much. So now I can keep my phone in my pocket and just glance down at this for the maps or Spotify or whatever it is that I might be doing. So this will be staying mounted to the bike permanently now. I can use the quick release just to take it off if I'm parking up somewhere that I feel's a little bit of a dodgy area, which is pretty much everywhere. So it will mean over the next couple of weeks, months, even potentially years, I'll be giving this a good run out on every ride that I do. I'll put a link in the description below that'll take you to their website, and the code for 30% off on this device or other devices is MWG. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and as always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.